Hey everybody, David Essel here. Well, we've heard for years and years and years about the concept of being born again from a religious perspective, but I'm going to talk about the same concept from a secular perspective, from a non-religious, non-spiritual perspective. We can be born again at any moment we want to be. Oh my God, it's a complete surrender. If you want to take some notes, being born again meaning that we are ready to surrender X in our life. Being born again remembers or tells us that we're going to release Y in our life. Being born again says that we're going to start anew. And here's the greatest news that I can share with you. You can start anew. You can be born again in your life. Nothing to do with religion, but you can be born again in your financial life, your health, your relationships, your career, your attitude. You can be born again in every area of your life. All you have to do is make a choice. It sounds so simple. It's not easy, right? But it is really simple to make a choice, to live differently, to get help. And I'm going to tell you probably one of the number one things to do to be born again in the secular world, meaning your finances, your body, your health, your relationships, your career, your money, and everything else, is probably going to take you working with someone who has what you want. Being born again isn't the easiest thing in the world. It takes discipline. It takes accountability. You need to be able to report to someone on a daily or weekly basis of how your changes are going, right? But let me give you some examples of how you can be born again. You can be born again by dropping an addiction and not returning or cross-addicting for 1 year. At the end of a year, you're going to be born again as a recovering person. And I can tell you from my experience, at the end of the first year of my sobriety after 30 years of alcoholism wasn't a joy. It wasn't the easiest, but I had support. I had an accountability partner. I had a therapist. 2 of them actually I had to work with on a weekly basis. And at the end of a year, oh my God, I was born again as a recovered person. I don't even say I'm recovered. I don't say I'm an ex-alcoholic, former alcoholic. I don't say anything. I'm David Essel. I've dropped it completely. I'm completely born again because it's not part of my existence. If it's part of my past, it doesn't matter. It's not part of my present. And that's all I care about, right? So any addiction, social media, nicotine, alcohol, food, spending, porn, you name it. Anytime you drop an addiction and hold it out of bounds without cross-addicting for 365 days, you are born again, my friends. You are incredibly born again. Now, what about relationships? How do you get born again in relationships? Well, number one is that if you're in a relationship that's toxic, that has not been healthy, and you've tried counseling, therapy, coaching, and it doesn't work, you can be born again by walking away and not returning. See, that is the key. You can be born again instantly by not being with someone who's toxic for you for 6 months, but if you return after 6 months, you've just lost everything you gained with that 6 months. So being born again says we don't return to our previous behaviors. We don't return to our previous partner if it was toxic. And the other thing about being born again in relationships is we look for signs that any new relationships where we might be codependent, meaning we stay too long, we put up a crap we shouldn't put up with, those will be gone when you're born again in a relationship perspective. You're not going to repeat the past. Isn't this exciting? You're completely free. You have a new identity. You have new energy. You're going to be more creative than you can ever imagine. What about being born again financially? Oh my God. Number one, write down all of your expenses on a daily basis. Really keep track of them. Now listen, this isn't going to be forever, but we need to know where we are, right? We need to have an idea of where we are financially. What are our expenses? And then write down what your income is. If your income isn't dramatically higher than your expenses, then we need to be born again financially. And that might mean reaching out to a financial planner, or it might mean just working with someone on your own budget and sticking with it. Only buying essentials for 365 days. Do you notice this 365-day trend of being born again? You see, when you make these major changes for 365 days, the odds of you returning to the old behavior are very, very slim. What about being born again nutritionally? Oh my God, this is so fascinating, so exciting. What about being born again losing weight? Again, let's go for 365. Cut out the sugar, cut out the fast food, cut out the convenience food, cut out the junk food. 365 days later, you're going to be born again. Now, the minute you start this process, you are already in the process of being born again. And as you continue with it, your life is going to be radically different. Your attitude will be radically different. Your motivation will be radically different. Take it from someone who's been in this field for 46 years. I've been born again so many times. Born again from an alcoholic to David Essel. Born again from a codependent man in relationships to simply David Essel. You can do the same thing. Hey, listen, because the world is so crazy, we're offering everyone a free 20-minute session with me on the phone, one-on-one. Just go to the website below, talkdavid.com or davidhessel.com. Go to the Contact Us page, sign up on my team. We'll get you with me ASAP. Also, at that same website, when we talk about being born again, we're talking about changing our identity, changing our belief system, changing our mindsets, changing our physical actions, right? We have 5 of our top-selling 16 books absolutely free at talkdavid.com. Go ahead and grab them all. It might just be the start of becoming born again, and you're worth it. Love, David.